during your time as a director of the institute, that time you could, because as you said, COVID.
No, first year, I did not have that sort of time, but year 2 when the physical classes stopped and most classes were online and all activity had come to a bare minimum. So I got a lot more time to read books in the library and to issue books from the library and read at home.
So this is after the candidates have passed the interview round?
Yes, after they have been selected finally. So the interview round is one of the inputs. The marks of the interview are one set of marks.
Okay.
But then the mains examination is there. So most of it depends on the mains examination.
Okay.
So after the final selection list is made, then the officers come to us for training.
So what is the duration of that training?
The foundation course is for about 3.5 months.
Okay.
And then it is followed by the professional phase course for the IS officers at the academy, and the other services go to their own academy.
Okay.
For instance, the police officers would go to the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Police Academy at Hyderabad. The income tax would go to Nagpur. The audit and account would go to Yarrows at Shimla.
What about IFS?
Foreign service, they go to the Sushma Swaraj Institute for Foreign Affairs.
Okay. So they have. So it is the specialization happens after that 3 months.
After the foundation course. Okay. The foundation course is the time when we want everyone to get together.
Okay.
And we want people to build friendships for their lifetime, because at the end of the day, governance is not just about civil administration. It's also about policing. It's also about GST realization. It's also about borders. It's about railways. It's about post and telegraphs. It's about everything. So that's the entire complex which
happened. So do you remember any anecdote from your interview round?
Yes. See, the first thing which happened was that I was then working for the Economic Times, and the news headline said RBI cuts interest rates by half.
Okay.
And so fortunately I read that paper in the morning, and the sub-editor had forgotten to add 0.5%. So the headline was RBI cuts interest rates by half, but that percent or the PC was not there, or that sign was not there. So the first thing was say how can RBI cut interest rates by half? Just that it was the printer's devil. So that sort of set the tone in a very friendly manner, and said ha. So you all make mistakes. Do you know how much confusion you've created? Do you know how much creation you've created? I said I wasn't on the duty last night, so I had taken off to prepare for this interview. So it became a very friendly sort of a thing. And then somebody had asked me, about how do you solve the Assam problem?
Okay.
I said, well, sir, with all humility at my command, if all of you senior people have not been able to find a resolution, how do you expect me, a rookie youngster, to tell you about it? And another interesting thing was, I said, you're already working, so why do you want to join the civil services? So I said, look, it's a challenge with my father. My father feels that, it's important to crack this exam because he's not very impressed with my lead articles in the Economic Times. So it's more of a challenge to myself. It's a challenge my father's given, so I want to crack it.
So and before the interview, were you tensed or you were very relaxed?
Well, you see, one thing is that, and which I keep advising a lot of other young people, is that if you're already working, and if you're working in a job which is reasonably okay, then you're not so tense. You see, for a person who is not working at all and is looking to the IS as the first job, there is a lot of tension. In fact, I was much more tense, much more excited when I went for my interview to Bombay for the Times of India training school. See, my first job was as a trainee journalist in the Times of India.
Okay.
And I remember that was a very tense mode. I was very tense at that time, on whether I'll make it to the as a trainee journalist or not, because that is the first job. And there's something about the first job. You're more tense. Once you're already in a job, then it's good if you make it. But if you don't make it, you're not on the road. And you're not going back to your parents. You have a backup. So I think, and that's what I keep telling everyone. It's very important to have a backup plan. start doing something, whether it's a teaching job, or it's a bank job, or it's any job. Take up a job after you're 21, 22, after you finish your graduation or your post-graduation, enroll yourself in a PhD program, but do not have nothing else to fall back upon, because then the pressure is very high.